puppy.
I think we found the fit for puppy.
I think he's getting tired of this problem.
Yeah.
Alright,
You're
okay.
getting really upset about puppy.
Alright, so thank God.
It was the only lamp really lit on the wagon that they called me. Stephanie Stein talks with Ian and defending against all dangers and my other day. The fact is curious. And the help was last lady at the woman to run for his life. It's a guy who the son behated.
Is it a person?
Like a bug, kind of.
Oh.
That's right. Now I'm friends. And the cat, I'm looking at it. This today, then today, Tuesday. And that's the wagon is mine to shelf. And full of curious boxes. This was like my time found an old apple coffee we got.
A plastic coffee. It's like a drugstore.
And it looked as though then took them years different secrets, different experiments. They strewn all over the floor, the rear, the heavy wooden table covered with book files and a bric-a-brac. Have you ever heard about blindfolded? And the octopus on that with the cell phone. Bathtub. Getting quiet again. That sounds like a magic thing.
It does.
Maybe some costume.
Yeah.
And they inquired again with the air. It showed up with loud sprinkling, snapping sound. Sitting at the table, physically mixing and measuring was the man who had invited them in. He was wearing a long white coat with a special silk around his neck and a small round mirror attached to his forehead. And the only really merciful thing about him were what is it? Tiny stuff and all this ear, but Ethan was fully as large as his head.
So what do you think the reason he has these big ears?
So that I can hear everything.
Maybe he was born with the ability
to hear far away.
Yeah. Which would make him closer.
Since I realized that my mother trying to get as well as possible. I was confident, age discord, the doctor of dissonance.
You know what dissonance is? When chords don't sound like they go together. It sounds weird. Helps us just roared.
The man I know who spoke so while exposing the grinding crash ahead. That's why he's called that?
Yeah. What does the A stand for? Stammered the nervous bug too frightened to move.
This is really bad.
Yeah. As loud as possible, bellowed the doctor, and two screeches with a little bump accompanied his response. Now, step a little closer, stick out your tongue.
I want to save it.
Oh. Wait, no, we're reading. What are you doing? I thought you meant save that. We're still reading, no? No. We're going to read 2 chapters. I don't know. 2? Yeah.
That's a lot.
Not really.
Fine, this would be like 1.
Can you read?
He began to jump around the wagon.
Just as I suspected.
He continued the opening of large dusty brick and summons through the pages via suffers voices via vacuum noise. He began to jump around the wagon, knocking bottles from the cells and I have a huge assortment in various colors and sizes. And all immediately labeled loud cries.
Stop.
Rocks. Eggs, bogs, glasses, crasses, switches, smoothes, snaps, and crackles, whistles, and gauze. Squeak, squawk, and miscellaneous uproar. Up to 40, a little of each equals large last speaker. Be ready at just a moment, he explained.
Wait, he stirred the mixture thoroughly with a wooden spoon, watching intently as it smoked and steamed and boiled. Yeah, and boiled and bubbled. Be ready in just a moment, he explained, rubbing his hands. Milo had never seen such an unpleasant-looking medicine, and it wasn't at all anxious to try any. Just what kind of doctor are you? He asked suspiciously. Well, you might say I'm a specialist, said the doctor. I specialize in noise, all kinds, from the loudest to the softest, and from the slightly annoying to the terribly unpleasant. For instance, have you ever heard of a square-wheeled steamroller ride over a street full of hard-boiled eggs? He asked, and as he did, all that could be heard were loud crunching sounds. Well, who would want all those terrible noises? Asked Milo, holding his ears. Everybody does, said the surprised doctor. They're very popular today. That's why I'm kept so busy I could hardly fill the orders for noise pills, racket lotions, clamor salves, and hubbub tonics. That's all people seem to want these days. He stirred the beaker of liquid a few more times, and then, as the steam cleared, continued. Business wasn't always so good. Years ago, everyone wanted the pleasant sound, and except for a few orders during wars and earthquakes, things were very, very, very bad. But then the big cities were built, and there was a great need for honking horns, screeching trains, clanging bells, deafening shouts, piercing shrieks, gurgling drains, and all the rest of those wonderfully unpleasant sounds we use so much today. Without them, people would be very unhappy, so I make sure that they get as much as they want. Why, if you take a little of my medicine every day, you'll never have to hear a beautiful sound again. Here, try some. So what are they saying?
That you won't be able to. The medicine will make you think of sound of certain things.
Okay. So why do you think this guy thinks that everyone wants to hear that stuff?
Because of the cities.
Yeah, and that's kind of what people have, right?
Yeah.
And what does it do to the other sounds?
It drives them out.
Yeah, so it's kind of, you know, showing that. What's going on here now?
So it's all the same. I don't really care the political sound of this Milo this time. And the dad talked,
Try to speak
and
clearly.
said that he didn't look like Dr. Discord. This is large. And the way, of course, applied to the doctor, pouring yourself a small glasses of liquid. That's when he was so difficult to cure. And at least he could illnesses. And that way if I can't cure them, there's no harm done. Just one of the precautions of the trade. And tinkle food. It is under. Long track there.
He concluded, and seeing that no one was about to take his medicine, he reached toward the shelf, removed a dark amber bottle, like a restaurant, dusted it carefully, and placed it on the table in front of him. Very well. If you want to go through all the life suffering of noise deficiency, I'll give you all to the dining for his health.
That's gonna be exciting. This is that thing.
He said, and he uncorked the bottle, which a hollow sounding pop. For a moment, Everything was quiet as Milo, Top, and Hendra looked intently at the bottle, wondering what Dr. Discord would do next. Then, very faintly at first, they heard a low rumbling sound that sounded miles away. It grew louder and louder and louder and closer and closer and closer until it became a deafening, ear-splitting roar that seemed to be coming from inside the tiny bottle. Then, from the bottle, a thick bluish smog spiraled to the ceiling, spread out, and gradually assumed the shape of a thick bluish smog with hands, feet, bright yellow eyes, and a large frowning mouth. As soon as the smog had gotten completely out of the bottle, grasped the beaker of liquid, tilted back what it would have been in its head, and if it had really had one, and drank it all in 3 gulps. "Ah, that was good, master," he bellowed, shaking the full wagon. "I thought you'd never let me out. Terribly cramped in there."
Just
Take the,
I take one more walk.
well, Alex,
I just wanted to take another
please
walk.
don't do that again, okay? I didn't know what you were saying. I thought you said take it. "This is my assistant, the terrible, how do you Dime," said Dr. Discord. "You must forgive his appearance, for he really doesn't have any. You see, he is an orphan who I raised myself without the benefit of the government, or of any other assistance for. No nurse is good nurse." If you can imagine a thick bluish smog doubling up the plaster. "For I found him," continued the doctor, ignoring his office, "living alone and unwanted in an abandoned soda bottle, without family or relatives." "No niece is good niece," roared the diamond again. He has no relatives. With a laugh that sounded like several sirens going off at once, and he slapped at where his niece should have been. "And brought him here," continued this exasperated Discord, "where despite his lack of shape or features, I trained. No nose is good nose," thundered the dime once again as he collapsed in another fit of hysterics and clutched his side. "I trained them as my assistants in the business of concocting and dispensing noise," finished the doctor, mopping his brow with a handkerchief. "No noise is good noise," exclaimed the humbug happily, trying to catch the spirit of things. "That's not funny at all," sobbed the dime, who went to a corner and sulked.
Speaking of dissonances, microwave food actually creating electromagnetic dissonance that actually heats up food. I think that's what it is.
"What is a dime?" asked Milo, who had recovered from the shock of seeing him appear. "You mean you've never met the awful dime before?" said Dr. Discord in a surprised tone. "Why, I thought everyone had. When you're playing in your room and making a great amount of noise, what did they tell you to stop?" "That awful din." "What?" admitted Milo. Din. I thought it was din. "When the neighbors are playing the radio too loud." "What is all that? I must be serious. "What do they wish they'd turn down?" "The awful din," answered Fox. "When the street on your block is being repaired and the pneumatic drills are working all day, what does everyone complain of? The dreadful row." "The dreadful row," cried the anguished din. "Was my grandfather. He perished at the great silent epidemic of 1712. Milo felt so sorry for the unhappy din that he gave him his handkerchief, which was immediately covered in a bluish smoggy tears." "Thank you," groaned the din. "That's very kind. But I certainly can't understand why you don't like noise. he said. Why, I heard an explosion last week. It was so lovely, I cried for 2 days. The very thought of it upset him so much that he began to shout, "Don't listen," all over again, and in a way that sounded almost exactly like a handful of fingernails being scratched across a mile-long blackboard. Ugh. He buried his head in the doctor's lap. "He's very sensitive, isn't he?" asked Milo, trying to comfort the emotional Ben. "It's true," agreed Dr. Discord. "But he's right, you know. The noise is the most valuable thing in the world." "King of that says words are," said Milo. "Nonsense," the doctor roared. "Why, when a baby wants food, how does he ask?" "He screams," answered the den, looking up happily. Your turn. "And when an automobile wants gas?"
It shows he's on the den. Dummy for joy.
No,
Everyone follow what does it do? It sleeps and spell the time as he collapses no spit on him for master. And what happens when a new day begins? It breaks. He gasped forcefully from the floor and left out other blood covering his face. To see how simple it is, the doctor turned the mile he did piano. Then he kissed his face, smiling, dying.
I think it's like Lynn outline and then
Maybe more time to get up, so you go on Milo. After going the same way, I think not to find the fine to yes from Iowa passed to the table. I'm going on a noise collection route to see once a day I travel throughout the kingdom and collect all the wonderfully horrible and beautifully unpleasant noises that have been made technically attacked and bring them back here to make it for this doctor to make this medicine from. Do you think that there was a doctor like this who came and saw the this in people's lives? Yeah, they would have liked that.
Do you think cupping on that?
I think it was the pencil was squeezed.
Squeeze. I'm taking a nap. I can't deal with this pepperoni. And a good job he does. So, whenever the noise is, wherever the noise is, that's where you'll find me, said Ben with his appreciative smile. And I must hurry along, for I understand that today there's to be a screech, several loud crashes, and a bit of pandemonium. And in which direction are you going? Asked the doctor, mixing another blue. To Digitopolis, replied Milo. How unfortunate, he said, as the den shuffled toward the door. How very unfortunate, for then you must pass through the Valley of Sound. Is that bad? Asked the perpetually worried humbug. The den paused in the doorway with a look of extreme horror on the most featureless face, and the doctor shuddered in a way that sounded very much like a fast-moving straight train being derailed into a mountainous custard. Well, you might ask, for you will find out soon enough, was all he would say as he sadly bade them farewell, and then galloped off on his rounds. So what do you think the Valley of Sound would be like?
It would be very chaotic, and that Jeannie would be constantly